so fast and deep. All these things, wild and new to see. On my own, far from home, I was scared alone. When your beat showed the way to me. We're breaking through, down to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. Inside the storm, I found the key. Your beat rang out, my voice has been released. Hear it call, it's whispering truth. This melody in harmony will strike a chord that's gonna break us free. When it all seems so dark and bleak, when the whole looks so cold and deep, I hold tight, leave it all, just let go and fall. Let your beat light the way for me. We're breaking through, down to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. Inside the cage, in the beast, your beat rang out. My voice has been released. Hear it call, it's shouting the truth. Just sing with me. This melody will strike a chord that's gonna break us free. Look at us, so big and small, two together through it all. Heart of gold, a wish come true. You and me, unbreakable. We're breaking through, right to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. I'm heading home to city streets. Your beat now mine. Our dreams are lost, unleashed. You and me, my hand in your hand. Our two voices entwined in a crescendo, spiraling up, rising forever. You and me, we set the rhythm of my heart free. It was bounding in hopes that this day would come. Beat a tempo in time with your own heart, playing a song just for us to sing. This strange world, it's so fast and deep. All these things, wild and new to see. On my own, far from home, I was scared alone. When your beat showed the way to me, we're breaking through, down to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. Inside the storm, I found the key. Your beat rang out, my voice has been released. Hear it call, it's whispering truth. This melody in harmony will strike a chord that's gonna break us free. When it all seems so dark and bleak, when the hole looks so cold and deep, I hold tight, leave it all, just let go and fall. Let your beat light the way for me. We're breaking through, down to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. Inside the cage, in the beast, your beat rang out. My voice has been released. Hear it call, it's shouting the truth. Just sing with me. This melody will strike a chord.
Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be reacting to chapter 1161 of One Piece. I have about like an hour. So, about an hour, roughly a little bit more than an hour to go through everything as much as I can before I have to head to work. But I'm going to go through, read through chapter 1161. There's some romance involved, so I'm super excited to see and showcase and give you my thoughts. I've already seen some of the panels already, but I haven't actually fully read the chapter. So I'm gonna go through everything, and hopefully when I finally get the context of things, it becomes much more clearer, at least to me. Let me just find a song to play. Let's see. Guess we could do this. Yeah. Maybe that one. Nah. Let's go with. Let's see what Doba Syndrome has in terms of new songs. Opening and what? This is like 18 seconds. Let's dance. This one's pretty long. Let's see. Okay, let's not get let's not get let's not get sad over here. Satin Swing Serenade. Ooh. Good night, Cham. Oh, you know what? That's not bad. If you're over on YouTube, right now I cannot see your comments. Just give me a sec. I apologize for that. For some strange reason, my internet is being weird today. But if you're on YouTube side, just hold off 1 second. I will see your comments very shortly. I apologize for that. Just give me 1 second. I'll have it up. Okay, so I should have I should have it up. Hello, Sin. There you go. Now I see you. Yes. This time I did mean to put it on YouTube. The other time I didn't because I didn't want to stream YouTube content and react to it because sometimes YouTube can be really picky on that. So that's why I didn't want to. But this time, yes. This time I did mean it. I did mean to put it on YouTube. Give me 1 sec. It's fucking hot. It's freaking almost October. And it's fucking hot. I hate this. Where the hell did I put the remote? For the record, I am a winter person through and through. I love me the winter. Where did I put it? Where did I put the remote? Alright, never mind. I don't know where the remote is. Guess the AC's gonna be on the entire time. Okay, cool. One Pisu, hello. Hello, how would you want me to pronounce your name? Because I have no idea how to. Is Silent Hill uploaded for later? Yes, so I am planning on playing through Silent Hill F. I have Sunday and Monday off, so those will be Silent Hill F streams on Sunday and Monday. So yes, those will be streams for then. Let me see. All right, okay, I'm gonna pull up the chapter. I cannot show it for 2 reasons. 1, copyright. 2nd reason, TCB is flooded with fucking ads of like porn, so I cannot show that regardless on on stream. So, so unfortunately I cannot show it. So, but I will be reading through it and just reacting and giving you my thoughts on it, specifically the rumored. Well, actually I know, but I already saw the color spread because it came out. But that is something I do have a lot to say. I will save that for later though, because I want to talk about it a little bit more, including a fucking dumb delusional headcanon I have. But I'll save my discussion about the color spread. But to just give you some sort of like small reaction to it. It's fun. It's colorful. It looks great. Poor Chopper's in the fucking claw machine. I did not realize that Brooke is the actual claw. I didn't even realize it until now. Holy fucking shit. Brooke just like is like fucking camouflaging right into the fucking crane machine. And yeah, I guess Usopp is battling a lion to save Chopper, who mistakenly was put in there as a doll, I'm assuming. There's more to discuss, but I'll discuss it later. Let's move on to the first page. The cover page. Chapter 1161, A Love Ballad in a Hell of Arrows. Love ballad? Oda? Love? Romance? Yes. Me likey. Okay. A Love Ballad in a Hell of Arrows. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Nari Shrine Pilgrimage Volume 43. The Resting Place of Heroes. Okay. I got nothing else to say there. So, looks like there's Momo and Kinemon there with Yamato. I can't read whose names these are, so I'm assuming it's the people who died during the Onigashima raid. That's what I'm assuming. Those are the names. Alright, first page is a double page. The island became an inescapable flashpoint where motive and fate erupted into a battlefield of nightmares. Head for the evacuation route. But there was a prize I really wanted! We will take responsibility and get it for you. Responsibility? You'll be taking responsibility for all this, you idiot! That's my Celestial Dragon voice. It sounds nasally and stupid. We might have a chance. Let's use this chaos to hop on a boat and slip away. Where's Shaki? Is she alright? Roger. Eddies. Her name is Eddies. So that's Blackbeard's mom's name. Eddies. Interesting. Eddies is Blackbeard's mom's name. Wow. Teach, where are you? Rox is looking for his kids. Respect. Respect for Rox. Where did Roger go? Fucking Garp and his priorities, man. He is so obsessed with Roger, it's fucking insane. Holy shit, my guy. Calm the fuck down. Holy shit. Oh, we have Dragon again. Hang in there just a little bit. Hang in there just a little bit longer. Where are the Navy ships? He still has, Shanks and Shamrock. More pirates. Not you know what? This panel of Dragon looks like he looks like he's wearing boxing gloves. I ain't gonna lie. It's fucking Shanks and Shamrock's head, but he looks like he's wearing boxing gloves. Yeah, I see him, a Marine with a little bundle in his arms. Whoa! Jesus, she just shot a beam. Holy fuck! I don't know why, but in this shot of Shanks and Shamrock on the first double spread page, but he kind of reminds me of a Rugrats character. I ain't gonna lie, fucking, he looks like fucking like a Rugrats character. It's so cute. But damn, Dragon got blasted by a beam of light from who the fuck is this? One of the Celestial Dragons. Got him. You're a lifesaver, Maffy. Garling would have killed me. Huff, huff, wah. Oh no! Shamrock fell. Aww. God's Knight Satchel's family, Saint Maffy. That's her name, Maffy. I like the hair. I wonder if she's part Fishman, because those are like Fishman teeth that you see in like what's that guy's name from who's like a quarter Fishman from Doflamingo's crew? Something with the D, I think his name is. Not Will of D, but the other, but like a regular D name. What the fuck was his name? The guy who was like a quarter Fishman. I wonder if Maffy is part Fishman, because unless that's her devil fruit. Unless that's her devil fruit that's making her look like that. Because she did shoot a laser beam, so she definitely has some sort of devil fruit, but like, I'm gonna go with that. That's a devil fruit ability. Like she has a Zoan type of some kind. Dragons on the ground. Shanks screams, "Wait, those babies! They're my only chance to atone for helping set up this twisted." Wow, man, fucking Dragon's characterization is so fucking good in God Valley. Like, holy fucking shit, man, it is so fucking good. Like, his entire existence, his entire philosophy that he originally thought when he was so young is getting completely shattered right in front of his eyes. And the one thing that he thought that could atone for like being a part of this murder game is by saving these two babies. And the fact that he eventually is only to be able to save one of them, fuck, that actually is great characterization for Dragon. Like, you can see why he became a freedom fighter, a revolutionary, because he saw what was happening. He wants to pay. He wants to atone for being part of this and being complacent to the fucking bullshit that the Marines of the Celestial Dragons are doing. It's such great characterization for him. It was nice knowing you, young man. I guess that's that. Considering all the dead, this is probably what I do. Damn, man. He even feels guilty, even though he's not responsible for this shit, man. Fuck. Goddamn, Dragon is good. I love Dragon in God Valley. Out of the way! Damn! Wait, who did that? Was that Whitebeard? Fucking hell. If that was Whitebeard, he fucking cleaned the shit out of Saint Maffy. Like, cut her right in half clean. Fucking hell. For the last time, I was aiming at the enemy, not you. How many other pirate crews landing here anyway? Oh, Whitebeard and Big Mama are yelling at each other. And Whitebeard saved Dragon. The amount of, like, fate residing in God Valley is fucking nuts when you really think about it. Whitebeard saved Dragon, thus saving Shanks. Dragon saving Shanks, thus getting the hat from Roger. Shanks then gets the hat from Roger. I said that already, but like then Shanks saves Luffy. Got the wheels of fate that's turning in God Valley, and then what we see throughout the story of One Piece. You know, Roger being Ace, Ace being Roger's son, Ace and Luffy becoming brothers. The whole Shanks, like all of the wheels of fate are like just turning at this moment in God Valley, which I guess that's why it's called the Island of Fate, right? Damn, man. Oda, I don't like. I'm not one of those people who thinks that Oda like plans everything out like to the T. I think he does make changes here and there, as we know that he did make changes for like with Shibodi, with the Worst Generation. That was a thing that happened in like 13 minutes after his editor suggested to make it a little bit more interesting. And then he just added those characters more into the plot as it went on, like with Kaido, Doflamingo, and then just I wonder how long he's actually playing God Valley for, because this seems like one of those cases where it kind of, this is where like part of like the pieces that he's wanted, that he essentially planned for like a lot of these characters like Dragon, Shanks, Roger, and stuff like that, Whitebeard, all came in this one of cases that he had planned. The Shaggy stuff I think wasn't necessarily planned in the very beginning. I think the Shanks stuff has been planned, and I think like a lot of other things has been planned from the beginning, but not everything. So it's very interesting that we're finally seeing everything, like these wheels of fate that's happening in this one event on this one island, an island called God Valley is taking place. It's really fascinating to see. Liar! I could have died. You want to go right now or something? Whoa, these pirates, they're so huge. You see how Dragon doesn't have like the vengeful like attitude like his father does, Garp. Damn you, New Gate! You trying to get me killed? Shiki. This isn't what we agreed on, Lin Lin. Kaido! Wow, Shiki and Kaido meeting each other. Whitebeard was supposed to be in Strong World. Or at least the first variety, the first iteration of Strong World before Oda changed it. The same thing with Shanks. So it's interesting to see Shiki being the one involved with Whitebeard here. The Rocks Pirates. If we can take them down, we'll be famous. Huh? Hang on. Are these scrubs after Shaggy too? Get back to bed, you small... God damn. That's a dope fucking panel. Linlin, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Shiki just destroying the fodder. That's a dope panel. Wow. Look at that. Goodbye, NPCs. What in the world is happening on this... What in the world is happening on this island? What? I can probably slip away now. But I lost the babies. The babies! What? Oh, Shanks with the little boo-boo on his head. Oh, that's so adorable. I mean, it's not adorable. He's knocked out and in pain, and he has a boo-boo on his head, but, like, the fucking paddle's so funny. That's literally fucking Shanks. Oh, it's Garp now. Now, this is a big catch. I found a prime fishing spot. Brace yourselves, you big old sea kings. It's Garp! Run! Run! A fight with him will drag on too long. We ain't gonna fight back at all. Wow, Kaido really wants to fight Garp. He does not understand the fucking opponent he's dealing with. Can it? Zeus, Prometheus. Yes, Baba. Whitebeard running away from Garp. The amount of, like, aura and strength Garp has to make even everyone, like, Whitebeard, Linlin, Kaido, who doesn't understand just how powerful Garp really is, run away. That's some Garp agenda right there. I mean, I always figured Garp, because of just like all the stories we've currently heard about Garp being like this all-powerful marine hero and stuff like that, to the point where like he matched Roger, meant that like he was supposed to be super strong at that point, which makes you wonder who the fuck trained Garp to be this strong. Maybe his dad? Maybe it's just the bloodline of the Monkey D family that's just like everyone who's ever born in it is super fucking strong. it's wild to think like Garp could possibly, like, maybe you could claim he is the strongest Monkey D member of the family. We still don't know anything about Dragon's abilities. Luffy's definitely getting up there. Well, he's gonna be the Sun God. He is the Sun God, so I guess that makes sense. But I think it was playing for Shaki. Oda isn't the type to waste panels of characters like that. In my opinion, even side characters are forgotten as much as the other manga. I don't know. Well, I'm not saying that he just put Shaki in as a big thing for God Valley. What I'm saying is that the way he planned the whole thing with Shanks, Roger, Luffy, Ace, Whitebeard, all of that was already like, was one of the things that he already had planned way back in like Alabasta. The Shaki stuff, I think, definitely happened at some point, maybe during Shibodi, when he thought like that would be a perfect time to do it in God Valley. But like the whole Wheel of Fate, the fortune, everything that's happened that eventually has progressed through the fate of like a lot of these characters in One Piece was something that he had always planned, and then he eventually put the pieces together for everything else for God Valley. That's what I'm trying to say. Not that he didn't plan the whole thing with Shaki and God Valley. It's just that that probably came like later on, compared to the whole thing with Shanks, Ace, Whitebeard, Roger. That was probably planned early on. Unless, hold on, because didn't he also say that he didn't necessarily have it planned for Ace to be Roger's son? Didn't he say that in like some SBS or like some interview, or like maybe an editor spoke about it? I feel like there was something about that he said a long time ago. I just don't remember. I just remember something about that. Or was it Ace's death? Maybe that's what it was. Spoiler alert. Dad! Oh, Dragon meeting his dad. Heavenly Fury Blitz! Damn, Linlin going to attack Garp. Ooh! Damn. That's a big Key Blast looking thing. What for that? No, focus. This is a chance, Kuma. Okay. I like Kuma's reaction. He's just like, okay. Well, not really, but this is even. Oh. Oda did not need to go hard on this panel of Garp. He did not need to go hard on this. What the fuck is that? Like he's an actual demon? And he actually remembered Linlin's name? That's wild. Garp's priorities and his obsession with pirates is fucking nuts. He's literally there knowing that, you know, they had like some sort of something was going on with the Celestial Dragons, and he likely saw what was happening, but he gives no fucks. What did pirates ever do to Garp that made him like this? I truly wonder what exactly caused him to be like this. I'm so interested in Garp's flashback. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, the cut triggers themselves and SBS stuff a lot, so I'm not sure either. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's why I'm like, I don't think it was an SBS. I think it was like an actual interview from Oda, or an interview with one of his editors during that time when he was going to reveal that Ace was Roger's son. I just remember reading something like that. I just do not remember what it was. Fuck. I also like it doesn't say here, but I saw someone say that the Japanese Raws of Dragon calling Garp his dad, it was Oyaji, which I think is very wholesome. Kind of like how like a lot of people in Whitebeard's crew called Whitebeard Oyaji. I think that's pretty neat, pretty cool, pretty wholesome. Although I wonder if no, it doesn't look like Dragon. Maybe they'll have it later, but I do wonder if Dragon's going to have a conversation with Garp, and this is where they do have a falling out. Probably not during God Valley, but like a little bit after that, when they have time. Because this definitely seems like after this event, he leaves the Marines. It just doesn't seem like it's possible for Dragon to stay with the Marines after everything he's seen. You know? Hey, the kidnapper's probably dead. And I've secured the baby. That's good enough, right? I'm forever in your debt. Now, please get back here before Garling finds out. Ooh, they don't know about the twins. Garling's gonna kill whoever this is. Who is that? Summers? I actually don't know who that actually is. I'm sorry. I like to picture Dragon as Batman. I'm sorry. I may not be able to help you, brother. but I swear to at least save you. Urgh. Sorry. I like to picture Drake as Batman. Urgh. Yeah, I really thought you could get away in this chaos? Pirate of townsfolk, none of you escape on my watch. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, damn. The celestial dragon with the fucking... I don't know what kind of hat that is. It's a very puffy hat. It's shooting up all the all the people they were... the celestial dragons were going to hunt. Reporting in. The Rocks pirates are coming in from the southeast. The Roger pirates are coming from the northwest. We've been sandwiched. Wow. Wow. A nice blueprint map. Get back, Shacky. It's Roger. Fight to the last. We've gotten the treasure to safety yet. We haven't gotten the treasure to the safety yet. I'm assuming they're talking about Shacky. The Rocks crews are coming from the other side. I'm gonna save her first. No, I will. Let go. Shacky, we're here to save... God. You see how, like, they're all treating her like some sort of trophy? My guys, don't do that. Don't treat women like some sort of trophy to be won or to be rescued. That's not... No one likes that. No one likes to be seen as a trophy. Hurry and stop them! You at least moved Shakuyaku, right? St. Summers, about that. Huh? St. Summers. Don't tell me all of them were taken out by a little chained up lady. Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. Shacky kicking ass even while chained. She kicked all the grunts' ass. Okay. I like that. I actually do like that. Because that means that she is not... I mean, I guess this was her best opportunity to do so. Maybe she never had the opportunity to do it any other time that wasn't during, like, what was it, like the year she was captured. But I do at least like to see that Oda at least isn't letting Shacky bow down that much. That at least she's still fending off for herself. Yes, it is against NPCs, but at least it's something. Sounds like the pirates out there are really going to town. How distasteful. There's nothing less cute than a woman who knows her worth. Wow. Summers just slapped Shacky. Nah, fuck Summers. Summers deserves to fucking rot in hell. Fuck that guy. Oh, she actually kicked him. Okay. She retaliated. That's good, but... Of course, Oda can't... Oda just has to have Summers... hit her with a spiked club. Fucking Christ, Summers, go fuck yourself. You know all these parts are gonna take you away. Your popularity is quite the pain. It certainly made a mess of Alterni. Even if you survive this, Garland will ultimately claim you as his. No one else really gains anything, so I'm starting to wonder if it wouldn't just be more fun to kill you here and now. They've come all this way just to save you. It'd be unfortunate for them to survive hell, only to find the mangled corpse of their beloved here. I wonder what kind of faces they'll make. Hey, Roger. Wow, Roger is fighting... Wow, Roger clashed with Whitebeard. Is this like the... Nah, I'm pretty sure they clashed before this, but like... Wow. Roger and Whitebeard in a stalemate, shooting out Conqueror's Hockey. Even during God Valley. God damn, okay. Okay. Okay, they're going toe-to-toe. Shacky! We've come to save you! Shacky! Are you okay? I'm gonna save you now. That's Shiki. Fucking gross. I'm surprised he's not saying Baby-chan. Fucking like he does in Strong World. It'll be me! No, I'm the one! You see what I'm saying? Like... These... They don't... None of them are seeing her for who she is. It's all about, like, beauty and stuff like that, which just... It's such a shitty representation. Damn! My hands are tied right now! I'll leave Shacky to you! That's Roger saying that to Rayleigh. And Rayleigh go, whoosh! He's gonna save her. Can you hear that? They're right outside. But I'm afraid they're just a little too late. St. Summers, Garland won't forgive this kind of transgression. Zip it! If you keep quiet, they just chalk it up to an accident. Why did... Wow, Oda just did the same panel. Sorry. Look at her face, all hope snuffed out. See? This ain't a fairy tale, I'll just gut any hero who'd show up. Life's a bitch, ain't it? I'll kill you in 5 slashes, save you the pain. Your wishful thinking will drain out with your blood. Oh, I'll send you to the darkest shadows of the underworld. Really? Transcendent Higan Crescent. Furigana reads Red Spider Lily. Ah, Red Spider Lily, which is the flower symbol of death, I think? Yeah, because the Red Spider Lily is seen in, like, at least Japanese, culture as, like a meaning of death or something like that. Aww! Shaki looking wide-eyed as Rayleigh saves her. Huff. And then, he's fucking aura farming too. Like, he's just putting his sword back in, like, very, like, cool-like. Come on. Sorry for the late. Come and make me yours. Oda is making a reference back to the fucking letter that Shaki sent to Rayleigh. And then he's like, I'm here for you. Fucking showing his hand. He's like busted open from here and there from all the fights trying to get to her. All right. I'm feeling a little bit of the chills. Okay. And then she's crying. Rei-san, you're late. Wow. She goes to try to hug him because she's changed. She can't, like, fully hug him, but it's a very interesting panel. I will make a comment on it in a little bit. I have to. It's a good one. It's a good one, and it reminds me of another one, which we'll talk about very shortly. Wow, even Rayleigh is crying. Hey, Sonya, I'm sorry for letting it come to this. I was so scared. I'll never ever. Oh, that's cute. That's a very cute moment for Shaq and Rayleigh. Yeah, that's a very cute moment. And then fucking Gabon and Roger. Basically, Gabon and Roger are being like those guys who are like who's like fucking normies and stuff like that. It was like, save it for later. Just because you won doesn't mean you have to brag about it. Ah! Guys, if you've got Shaki, grab the treasure and run for it. Don't call her treasure, unless they talk about actual other treasure, like the treasure chest that they do also have, which probably where they're gonna find Shanks. But yeah, okay, so that's the end of the chapter. So the ending of the chapter is Rayleigh shaving Shaki. They have a nice moment together, which is really good. It's really good. I have issues with the whole dynamic of it, which I'll explain in a little bit. But for the most part, it's really good. It's a good version of the damsel in distress trope, alongside as it has some similarities to Strong World. Like, you could tell, like, Strong World kind of had like an influence on Oda here. It's not the same. Don't misconstrue my words as it being exactly the same. That's not what I'm saying. There's some parts of it that are in this whole sequence, but for the most part, to me, this represents kind of a preview, or I would probably say preview. I for the most part, I've been trying to use the term watered down version of what Oda could do with romance, but to me, I think this is more of a preview. And the reason why I'm talking about it as a preview is because, to me, the one thing that I think this whole chapter between the romance between Shaq and Rayleigh that is missing is the context of their own relationship before this. What I mean by that is, the only time that we've actually seen them interact was that moment a while back where, you know, Roger and the Roger pirates meet up with the Kuja pirates, and Shaki comes out, attacks Roger, attacks the rest of the crew, and then she talks to Rayleigh as if, like, you know, they have some sort of mutual respect for each other, right? Rayleigh isn't fawning over her in any sort of way, right? To me, my first thought with that is that, oh, Rayleigh isn't fawning over Shaggy like everyone else. That's essentially showcasing that Rayleigh is seeing Shaggy for more than just her beauty. He's trying to see Shaggy for who she actually is. And because he doesn't fawn over her, that in itself is the reason why Shaggy starts to like Rayleigh. At least that's what we can infer based off that one moment. Yes, she does wink at him and he does have like a little reaction to it, but it's nothing egregious like the way Roger does it, the way Gabon does it, how some of the Whitebeard, not Whitebeard, the Rocks pirates do it. Sorry, I'm getting my fucking pirates gang confused, right? So there's something that's vastly different compared to like the way everyone else reacts to her, right? Then we move on. We do see that she finally begins to really like Rayleigh, but we're missing the rest of that context. We're missing their interactions before all of that. We're missing like more of, does Rayleigh not see her for just her beauty, but sees her for something more than that? Sees her for her personality, something that goes far beyond. Does he see her that way? Is that why Shaggy, falls in love with him? We know that Roger, after finding out that Shaggy does have an interest in Rayleigh, Roger, eventually realizes that, oh, she doesn't like me, so, but he knows that Rayleigh likes her as well, so he's willing to give up his own feelings to make both of them happy because he cares about both of them. In the same context, Rayleigh, from what it appears, did not want to get involved with Shaggy, probably because he knew that Roger had feelings for her. So, being, his best friend, he didn't want to get in the way of that, right? Like, he mentions that he does have an interest, but he's not, according to him, yet to settle down or wants to be settled with only one person, right? To me, that's showing that that's an excuse that he's using because he knows how much Roger likes Shaggy. So he doesn't want to get in the way of that because he respects Roger so much, right? So then, when Roger meets up with Shaggy later in the bar, like I mentioned before, he sees that Shaggy does have an interest in, Rayleigh. Roger finds out that Rayleigh does have an interest in her. And I guess at that point, he realized that maybe Rayleigh is holding back because of him, which is why he's pouting. And why he said and thought, while at Shaggy's bar, like, damn it, Rayleigh, why didn't you come? Making him realize that, oh, Rayleigh might actually have feelings for Shaggy, the same way Shaggy has feelings for him. And to Roger, it's like, oh, well, I still have feelings for her, and I'll still try my best to see if I could not win her over, but like have her reciprocate the same feelings he has for her. But when he realizes that, there's no shot, that the feelings that both Rayleigh and Shaggy have, he decides to put his feelings aside for them because he cares about both of them and wants them to be happy. Even at the consequence of him not being able to be with Shaggy, who I think he actually did have feelings for. Just the way he presented himself as if like she was some sort of treasure or something like that. I think he just did not know how to like handle his feelings, and that's why it came off the way he did, right? But he at least understood why, like, why he couldn't be with Shaggy, because both of Shaggy and Rayleigh, both of people he knew who he knew well, and he actually like really liked. He wanted them both to be happy, and that was the best way to do so. And I think that shows maturity in Roger. I can't wait to see how Oda goes about like Roger's relationship with Rouge down the line. But even Oda made Roger, deal with Whitebeard. Now, if the possibility that the only reason Roger did that is so that he could stop Whitebeard, so that Rayleigh has space to maneuver and get to Shaggy, we don't know that. That's definitely a possibility. But I think that was really mature of Roger to showcase that. And the romance, the ending of this, the conclusion of like the romance between Shaggy and Rayleigh and how they got together was well done. I think it was well done. I do not think it's peak romance, but it's well done and kind of a preview of what I think Oda can do, right? Regardless of who he wants to do a specific romance with, whether it would be Luffy and Nami, Luffy and Hancock, or even maybe not even them, but even Sanji and Pudding later down the line, right? If he wants to do that, this is a preview of what he can do. This is a preview of his writing. I think that with what he has given us throughout the entire story, those little moments, like for example, if we're gonna say, for example, if we say that Luffy Nami is gonna be the end game canon pairing that he wants to do, right? If he decides to do it for Luffy Nami, he has moments throughout the entire fucking story to really put in a much more deeper dive than what Shaggy and Rayleigh was. With Shaggy and Rayleigh, like I mentioned before, we don't have those contexts or those interactive moments between them before those moments that we do see. If we saw more of that, that in itself would make this probably the best peak writing romance in One Piece so far. Even without that, I think it still is, or at least you can argue still is at the top of those type of romances. But if he added more of that context, it would have fucking been like, woo, way above any other romance that he's done. In my personal opinion, at least that we've seen so far. Which is why, when I say that this is a preview, or like a, excuse me for saying this, but a watered down version of what he can do, it's because if, for example, he decides to do Luffy Nami, right? He gives himself so much moments throughout the entire story of One Piece that we see those emotional connections, those emotional deep dives. Nami being worried about Luffy. You know, Luffy, you know, always being there to help Nami whenever she needs to. Like saving her from like Shiki, from like Arlong and stuff like that. Something that like those that emotional strength of their bond. Picture all of that. Just picture all of that and given to Shaggy and Rayleigh throughout the entire story of One Piece, like into their entire romantic story, and you'll see just how much stronger that becomes. That how much stronger their relationship becomes. You know? By adding that emotional bonding, emotional context that we kind of do not necessarily see here with Shaggy and Rayleigh because he just doesn't show it. And I'm not saying there wasn't. There possibly is, but we never see it. Just picture that. Picture all of this. And then add that emotional bonding, that emotional context, that those moments that could seem romantic, and add it to like Luffy Nami. And if Oda decides to do Luffy Nami at the end, that then becomes much better romantic writing. And that's why, to me, this is what it feels like. That this is Oda testing the waters, seeing how people react to the romance between Shaggy and Rayleigh. And then when you add the extra emotional context, then all of a sudden, boom. You have a well-planned romantic story that blooms throughout an entire adventure, an entire manga. And that's how you are able to write that peak romance. And I think that's what... I mean, this is just my headcanon. This is just my theory, my interpretation of what Oda's trying to do. So don't think at all that it's like, what's going to happen. But when you're writing romance, those emotional bonds and connections are very important for the entirety of the romance. Regardless of how you ended up as, that's just how it is. You need those closer moments, those moments of them growing together, that emotional bonding and connecting, and then having these moments where you get that conclusion, that romantic conclusion. That's how you write a romantic story, a romantic plotline in your story. Because those are important to really get the full-blown romance that you need. So that's why I'm saying it's more of a preview and more watered-down version of what he can fucking do. Which I think he can fucking write a romantic story. Or a romantic plotline, I guess you could say. And I think he will do that down the line. Especially, I think, in my own personal opinion, the emotional bonding and moments he has with Luffy and Nami can definitely lead to something like this, and possibly creating one of the better romantic plot lines and stories that was written in a shonen manga. So, that's my interpretation of this. Because I also said they couldn't quite see what you're saying about Shaggy and Riley, where I tried to give them the perspective. I don't think it worked. Wait, what? Okay, wait. Rephrase that a little bit, because I my brain isn't processing that properly. Now, I can understand if you don't necessarily think this is a good romance for many specific reasons, such as it's a damsel distress trope. It's it's having a female character get captured instead of her escaping herself. It's all about the male characters getting a heroic moment. I can see why people are not happy with that, because that's a very common thing that people see. And you know what? I get it. I get that. I like the fact that Shaki at least fought in some capacity, but she still fucking got smacked around by Summers, which, fuck him. That's why I think that he's so close yet so far away of understanding how you can change up the damsel in distress trope. Because you do not need the male character to go save the damsel in distress. What you can do is have the damsel in distress be able to escape on her own, reunite with the main character without the main character needing a heroic moment, but have it also that no matter how much she escapes, that person continues to go after her, right? And then you could have moments of them working together to fight against this pursuer constantly, right? You can have moments where, like, the female character maybe is still unable to handle that character, but at least you give the idea that at least the female character isn't being just put down or isn't, like, useless in the situation. You're giving them opportunities in their own unique way, like using their smarts, their intellect, their trickery to get away from their pursuer, their captive, and allowing them to fight alongside the hero, the male character. And that's how you can create a proper damsel in distress trope that doesn't rely on just the hero saving the female character. The part of being a sort of test, because they also said they couldn't quite see what you're saying about Shaki Millie, where I tried to give them perspective. I don't think it worked. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. What we could do, what could happen for the main cast of crew. I mean, yes, that's to me. I think all of the romance writing we've seen so far is Oda dipping in, his fingers into romantic writing. I think what he's doing is slowly building on that, and now I think right now with the whole Rayleigh and Shaggy thing, he's showcasing like what he can do, like testing the waters to see what he can do and how like fans receive it. So far, people are receiving it well. I think there's just a slight misinterpretation of good romance writing. Not saying that this isn't like good, because it is a common damsel in distress trope that you see, but it's missing something. And the thing that it's missing that I think is very valuable is the emotional bonding and context that we just do not see. Right? People, because it's shonen writing, and a lot of fans who don't necessarily understand the romantic aspect of shonen writing, thinks that this is peak romance, right? Right? The hero saving the girl has feelings for the guy. That is peak shonen romance writing, or just romance writing in general. But there's a lot more missing there. There's a lot more missing that you need, right? At least for Harold and Ida, you see those contexts of them bonding with each other, seeing Harold slowly changing himself, to become a better ruler because Ida puts that effect on him. Those small moments for Harold and Ida are things that I wish we could have seen more with Shaggy and Rayleigh. Right? Like, we see Rayleigh, talk about how, like, he has an interest in Shaggy. But we don't see that growth or, like, that moment of like where he thinks like, oh, you know, it's something that allows Shaggy to make him change in some sort of way. That emotional growth and stuff like that is something I wanted to see more of, which we didn't get. So it's like, for a shonen writing romance, it's fine. In terms of actual like really heartfelt romance writing, it's missing context and more of the emotional bonding, emotional moments, right? That's how it feels to me, right? And I get it. It is a shonen manga. I'm saying like it's shonen writing. Well, it's a shonen manga. Of course, it's gonna have shonen writing. Yes, I understand that, but that doesn't mean you can't try. You know, that doesn't mean you can't try to put a little bit more effort than just going on the basic shonen writing. That to me, I just don't like an excuse, because we've seen shonen writers have really good romance writing, right? Full Metal Alchemist, Blue Exorcist even, right? Blue Exorcist did a fantastic job of really switching up what shonen romance writing is. Like, if you never read Blue Exorcist, I highly recommend it. The romance in Blue Exorcist between the main character and his female love interest, that was really well written. Like, holy hell. Again, even in My Hero Academia, I know there's a whole discourse, but just hear me out. You have moments, you have those emotional connections between Ochako and Deku that go beyond just normal shonen writing. Right? What I picture of shonen writing is literally what Dragon Ball Z's shonen romance writing was. Not knowing what the hell you want to do, just pairing up two characters together, giving them moments here and there, and then boom, that's it, done. That to me is shonen writing. You know, a lot of people consider that peak romance, and I'm like, you know, I don't think this is on par with Dragon Ball Z writing. Trust me, it's not. It's a lot more in depth than what Toriyama did, and with in terms of romance, which he even admitted that he sucked at. But still, your basic shonen romance writing, right? If you add more emotional depth, emotional bonding, connection, and those small little things that really help build that bond of these two characters together, that's when you go beyond just your typical shonen writing. And I think Oda has that opportunity to do so. I know people are going to say, like, for example, if Luffy Nami become canon, they're going to be like, oh, there was nothing there. What the hell are you talking about? There was nothing there. Like, there is. It's just that it wasn't spoon-fed to you. There's emotional bonding. You see it throughout the entire journey of just how much closer, how much more emotional bonding and connection Luffy and Nami have had throughout the story. I know people are going to hate me. I know certain people are going to hate me for this take, but this will be the equivalent of Luffy Hancock. Except for the fact that Luffy doesn't reciprocate the same feelings. But if Oda decides to do Luffy Hancock, something like this, but there was no emotional growth, no, like, nothing in terms of showcasing Luffy's side of thing, but just doing that romantic moment and having something like this and having them both confess their feelings for each other, that is basic shonen writing. That is basic shonen writing. Because there's not enough emotional growth there. And I know Luffy Hancock fans are going to hate me for that. But that's just how I always viewed romance. I mean, I'm sorry. There's different levels to romance writing, and I think that a lot of shonen readers, specifically the ones who mostly only focus on power scaling, because a lot of them tend to just overthink a lot of random BS. There's some stuff that, like, unless they're spoon-fed, they would not be able to recognize exactly what makes that romance writing, or like better romance writing than what, like, something like what Dragon Ball Z did, you know? Yeah, so that's my take on the whole Shaggy Rayleigh romance. I'll probably make an entire video on, like, describing my view of the Shaggy Rayleigh romance at some point. I'll probably post it next week, because I don't think I'm going to have time later this week to do so. But like, yeah, I'll probably do a video just going through it and just explaining like what this could mean in terms of Oda's writing and romance, the analysis of Shaq and Rayleigh's romance, and just also going over that that thing where Shaq says that he's out, fucking sleeping with other women. Like, I'm also gonna go over that because people are taking that too literally. So, at least to me, I interpret it as a joke more than anything. Similar to how it's in a lot of old comedies. From my understanding, it's in a lot of old Japanese comedies where like if a woman doesn't know where they are or like their husband is late, they probably think like they're off sleeping with other women or like, doing some other cheating stuff when they're just going out hanging out with the boys or like doing something specific like drinking, stuff like that. It's in very old comedies. There's also another aspect to it, but I won't go over that just yet. But like, yeah, I'll probably do all of that in that Shaq Rayleigh video that I want to do. Now, I only have about like 15 minutes left before I have to go and start heading to work. I want to talk about the color spread. Look at this thing. Look at this fucking color spread. I love it. I love it so much. I think this color spread is fucking fantastic. Nami Vivi shippers are in shambles right now because people are using this color spread to say that Nami sees Vivi as her little sister because she is part of Nami's collection here, who is more of her family. Which, this is why mostly I don't never use the sibling argument for any ship because like. It's always the dumbest fucking argument ever, which is why I'm not saying or ever claim that Nami views Vivi as a little sister. But at the same time, it's like I never got any sort of romantic vibes from Nami and Vivi. So while I do not call them siblings, the way I view them as like really close friends, that's really I don't use a sibling argument because I know how much of a bullshit argument that shit is. What the hell was I looking for? I was looking for something in connection to the color spread. I mean, I guess I could use my post then. Okay, so this color spread is really cute. I really enjoy it. I mean, look at it. It's fun. It's amazing. Everyone's having fun. Everyone is collecting dolls. There's a buggy doll over there. Except Jinbei. Jinbei's sleeping. With the giants. That's pretty cute. Giant dolls. You have Brooke being the hook or the claw, trying to capture Chopper. Robin wanting to help Chopper as Chopper's crying. You have Dr. Kuroha, Uncle Tom. You have Frankie trying to look if he has any coins left to try to rescue Chopper. Usopp doing his best to fight against a lion to capture to get Chopper. Zoro sleeping on top of a big ass Shirahoshi doll. I can't fucking think of the word. There's a Jer doll right down there. Then you have Sanji picking up every single fucking female doll you could possibly grab. Specifically, Pudding is literally right there. She is right there, really, really up in front. So Sanji Pudding fans, you got a hint in the color spread, or not a hint, but like you got something cool in the color spread. So congrats on that. Luffy's carrying as many fucking dolls as you possibly can. You see the Kinemon doll, you see the Yamato doll, you see the Carrot doll, you see Hancock doll falling. You even see the old man Mayor's doll falling. So now I don't know if Oda was trying to present this as Luffy, like Hancock falling from Luffy because he doesn't hold, because he doesn't hold her in his heart. To me, I'm like, eh. To me, I don't know, because I've seen people say that like that the machine is broken, that all these dolls are flying out, which I can't really tell if that's the case because I don't see it. I don't really see where that is. Like I don't like I think that's a machine there that where the dolls come out of, maybe. But to me, it's more like Carrot's doll seems to be coming out of the thing. Hancock's doll seems like Hancock was like in his back pocket or something like that, and then she fell. Or the only other place would be up here, where Whitebeard and the Rayleigh doll, similar to like what the Yamato doll is, and she just fell from atop there. But it still symbolizes that, like, or at least the symbolism in regards to it is like Hancock is just not there. She's not close to Luffy's heart enough. And it does kind of represent, like, at least my interpretation of, like, their relationship, in that Hancock only views a fantasy version of Luffy. Like, she dreams and fantasizes about Luffy being this sophisticated, suave, character that's, like, wearing a wedding suit and be like, oh, Hancock, your love is blah blah blah. Those kind of like romantic like things that you like a teenage girl would have a crush on somebody for, right? But she doesn't know the real Luffy well enough. She knows certain aspects of him, such as he likes food, he likes meat, which she thought would be the cure for Luffy when he was having a mental breakdown, which that was not what he needed at that moment, right? He needed someone to actually calm down, talk to him about, like, just because yes, losing Ace was very painful and he should never forget that, but at the same time there's a lot more people out there that need him. Hancock did not understand that, and I'll be fair to Hancock, she doesn't understand like the nuances of like what's it like being in love, or like those emotional like moments that you need to have with characters. So I don't blame Hancock too much because she's new to this, so I give her some slack for it. But at the same time, it slightly does represent that like Hancock knows Luffy on a basic level, not grander than maybe how other characters know Luffy. Like Nami, for example. Even Robin, right? Until Hancock gets to that level where she knows Luffy on that emotional level, it's hard for me to ship them, honestly. The screen time as well. Like, there's not enough screen time for her to actually bond emotionally with Luffy for that to happen. And that's why it's just like, if Oda just makes them happen, then it's like, ugh. You can't just do that. You need that emotional connection, which is why, like, which is part of my issue with the whole Shaq Rayleigh thing, is that you don't have those. We don't see those emotional connections. Not saying that they aren't there, that they never were there. We just never see them, and I feel like we need to see them at least to really determine whether or not to do the grander aspect of that romance writing. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame, but hey, if you ever said that color spreads mean nothing, then this shouldn't mean nothing to you. But if he did once say that, like the time Hancock was riding behind Luffy, having her arms around him, and you use that color spread as evidence, I mean, you need to use this as evidence too. That's just how it works. But I do have a headcanon take, which, for the record, is headcanon. I might be delusional about it, but it is a headcanon. So do not take this as me being actually serious about this. But I did say this. Let me see. I did say this. The Lulu Time headcanon. The title being "What We Hold in Our Hearts is is ours forever. Luffy and Nami holding people they cherish in their hearts and go and try to grab Chopper because they both cherish him. You know, that's reasonable. However, he's also between them as if Oda is using them to tease us to block both Luffy and Nami from grabbing each other's hands and holding on to each other. Teasing that both of them truly hold each other in their hearts. Yes, I'm the Lulu, but thought that would have been cute. In case you don't understand what I'm trying to say, what I'm basically saying is that the title of this color spread is called What We Hold in Our Hearts is Ours Forever, right? You have Nami and Luffy carrying people that they hold dearly in their hearts, right? Chopper being one of them. They're both going to grab for Chopper, right? Chopper is in the way of them holding hands together, thus holding each other in their hearts, which could have much deeper meaning, right? If Chopper wasn't there and they held on to each other, maybe this would have a different meaning behind it. But of course, you don't know that because the only reason why they're putting their hands out there like that is because of Chopper. Someone commented, Lariat15, commented that they made a theory like a year ago where he believes Chopper's meaning in these kind of situations is that he represents love. Cherry blossom, Chopper symbol represents love. Each straw hat represents something, and Chopper is love. So, again, this is just a headcanon, just something my Delulu mind came up when I saw the color spread for the first time. Maybe it would be nice to think that's what Oda's intention was, but we have no idea if that's what his intention was. But But you know, it's fun to think about. You know, sometimes something like that is just for fun. You don't have to actually make it serious, or at all. You don't have to take it as seriously. But it's something fun. Like I said, shipping is for fun. You could come up with wacky Delulu headcanons like this all the time you want, and just have fun with it. Do I actually take that seriously? Probably not. Mostly because I don't take color spreads as seriously compared to like actual stuff in the actual canon manga. But they're fun. And the reason why I at least view color spreads as something at least that has some sort of substantial evidence is because Oda is drawing them. Oda puts meaning behind a lot of the things he draws in color spreads. You know? He doesn't draw color spreads for fun. I mean, not just for fun. He definitely does it for fun. But there's always sometimes hidden meanings, right? Like, if you look at anyone in the One Piece fandom, they will use color spreads for something in some sort of agenda that they have, right? And people will believe it. But when it comes to stuff like Luffy and Nami, such as being portrayed as king and queen, that means shit, right? To them, that means shit. Only when in regards to that, it means nothing. Everything else, it's factual. It's what Oda has intended. Done. Everyone just agrees with it. So that's why it's just hypocritical. I just find that hypocritical. If you use color spreads, then you have to use every single color spread. If you do not use color spreads, then you cannot claim one color spread as something when you don't claim the others as anything. Right? You cannot switch back and forth and only use the color spreads that you want. But to me, this is just another color spread that has Nami and Luffy up front and center. Front and center. Because he enjoys drawing them. These are two of his possible favorite characters in the entire series. I wish he'd make Nami a little bit more brave and not be a scaredy cat for like a fucking dumb big cat. But other than that, he really enjoys drawing them. We even had the Shonen Jump cover of Luffy, Nami, and Chopper. Luffy and Nami are wearing bunny outfits and I think they're making mochi, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't think they have it here. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I see Nami's half of it. Where's where's the... Maybe I can find it. fuck? These are so old. Where's the latest ones? Where's the Luffy Nami one? What the fuck? Alright. Found one. Oh, come on. Yeah. See? Luffy, Nami, and Chopper. Now, realistically, what I think this mostly is that Luffy represents, you know, the main character. Nami represents the heroine for the female fans. And Chopper is just a cute mascot character that makes money. To me, if I was honest, what this represents simply is just marketing stuff. These three characters are probably the most popular in terms of demographics. You know, main character, the heroine, female character, and Chopper being the mascot marketing person. So it's like, that's the reason why. But he does enjoy drawing them. You know, I think regardless of that, he still enjoys drawing them, and that to me at least means something. You know. I mean, I'll stick with my all-time take on Hancock Luffy. It's possible, not probable. Yeah, I could agree with that. There's always a possibility. Me, I never try to claim a ship dead at all, because you never know. The amount of times I claimed a ship dead and then it turns out it became canon. You never want to risk it. You always wait until the ending of a piece of a work, because you never know what the author does. Like, I thought Harry and Hermione were gonna be a thing, but nothing happened. You know, or fucking Naruto Sakura being a thing, but nothing happened. You know. So, yeah. It's arguably the most likely should he choose to do romance, in his opinion, but it's also got a lot backing up depending on the context and content. Wait. Luffy Hancock or Luffy Nami? Oh, Luffy Nami? That's the thing. And understand this. For me, my interpretation of good romance writing are the smaller emotional bonding and connections. It's not always the having a crush on the character. It's not always the big moments like the hero saving the heroine. It's the small emotional moments that really showcase just how well they mesh, how well they grow together, how stronger their relationship becomes. And then those moments are like where you create those impact moments of that relationship and that bond to create those romantic moments. Because you cannot have romantic moments without those smaller bonding, smaller connective moments. When you have that, right? When you have those, it just strengthens those impact moments. Right? It's the same way how, like, you slowly do smaller moments for a character's growth, for a character's development, right? From, like, for example, a good example would be Donkey Kong Bonanza. Spoilers if you have never played the game, right? But in Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pauline, you notice that she gets nervous, she doesn't like singing in front of a crowd, she panics and stuff like that. Then you see, as you progress through the game, those slow moments where she starts to get more confident. DK gives her that confidence. They're like father-daughter bond kind of slowly showcases Pauline's character development, as it goes on, and then she gains confidence to eventually start singing in front of a crowd with confidence. Those smaller moments leading up to that impact, that's how you write a lot of these things in storytelling. Whether it be romance, character development. It's the smaller progressive pieces that lead into those impact moments. Right? Another great example is Final Fantasy X. You see those smaller moments between Tidus, and Yuna, and then you get that impact moment where they kiss. That's how you write romance. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Which is why I don't like how certain romances are seen where, like, you just have those impact moments and then that's it. They're great. They make you inspired. They make you happy. But good romance writing includes the smaller moments to increase that depth. And if you are following any sort of character or any sort of like romance, you would want that. You would want those things. Because it just makes it so much better down the line. It just makes it so much better, which is why I really love that dynamic between Luffy and Nami, and why, if Oda decides to go for a romance moment, boom. That impact, right? If Oda decides to have, like, let's say Nami confess or something, or like Nami say that she likes Luffy more, or like she loves Luffy, you have all those moments in between where you see that growth, that emotional bonding, them getting closer, more physically closer, you know, like the hugging, you know, Luffy laying on Nami's lap. All of those moments build up to make those impact moments much stronger. And that's how you write proper romance. If you just do impact moments and just have a pair fucking just wind up together, sure, it could work, but like, is it really good writing? You know? That's why the Sheki Rayleigh thing, it's good, but we're missing those smaller moments that will really make it like, bah! Holy fucking shit! You know? But that's at least my interpretation. I know other people have other interpretations, so it's like, alright. I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. To me, that's how I judge any sort of, like, progressive writing. A lot of people do not care about those small moments. I think those small moments are much more important than the impact moments. I truly do. And don't forget them having trouble getting over it together. Yeah, Cloud and Tifa. Yeah, exactly. People say, I like that people say, like, if two characters argue a lot, that means that, you know, that relationship isn't, like, is toxic or anything like that. But people argue in relationships. The real world has so many people argue. People have fights. People in relationships have fights. No romance is fucking perfect, no matter how much the movies, no matter how much, like, TV shows tell you. Romance is not black and white. It is not just a simple, oh, they love each other so much, they never fight, they're the perfect couple. No, they do have fights. It's how you get over those fights. It's how you work together. Past your differences, past those moments where you're in the heat of the moment. Like, it happens. You say things that you probably don't mean. But how you make sure you make those moments and turn them into a growth, a character development, a bonding moment between those two characters, that's important. That's important. No relationship is ever perfect. Every relationship, no matter what kind it is, will always have its ups and downs. The stronger relationships are able to figure out. The weaker ones tend to have a falling out. That's just how it is. I get it. It's a fiction. I get it. But that's not an excuse. Just because it's fiction doesn't mean like it needs to be like the most happiest romance in the world. Angst is important. Having conflicting arguments, conflicting views on certain things, sometimes that's needed too. Because it showcases that regardless of that, their love for each other overcomes any sort of like problem that they may have because they work together to resolve it. They don't hide, they communicate, they talk. That's how you write proper romance. But of course, many people do not see it that way, and all the more power to them. I'm not like if that's not your view of romance. I guess I like if you don't see my reasoning, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna be like highly upset over it. You know. All right, that's about it for me. I have to start heading to work, but it was fun talking about it. I'll make a video on the Shaq Riley relationship at some point. I'll probably release it next week. Just to give you my analysis of it. But this was a fun chapter filled with romance. Yeah, so if you like me talking about the romantic aspects of Oda's writing as well as his inclusion of it in the story, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch as well, where I also play some games such as Silent Hill 2, which I'll start playing on Sunday. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, there's many ways to write romance, but as long as the characters are balanced and both shown to work well together and can help you. I mean, yes, that is also true. Every author has a different way of writing romance, but I think for the most part, the core of most romances are those smaller moments that build up to those impact moments that mean a lot more, regardless of how you do it. Yeah, so fun stream. Looking forward to the Shaq video. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Next stream will be on Sunday. We'll play some Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill F. We'll play a spooky game. And yeah, I'm hoping to release a Shaq Riley video at some point next week. Stay tuned for that, and I will